Hi, and welcome to another LRCC Soundbite. We're in the middle of holiday season. If you have kids, you'll be well aware that they've been off school for several weeks now, and there's still a few more to go. I don't know about you, but I find that in August, things seem to change. Maybe life is just a little bit more relaxed. There aren't as many cars on the road in the morning as I try to get to work, and certainly some of the things that mark out the weeks of the year take a pause. It's at times like this that, I can sometimes drop out of good habits in the name of relaxing. I think it can also be an opportunity to try out some new things though, whether we have a nice summer or a wet one. When news about Jesus, who he was and what he'd done, was just starting to spread and the first churches were springing up, there was a man called Paul who was very active in this new movement, and he would write letters. These letters he'd send to new groups of Christians to encourage them. And we can still read some of his letters today because they make up a part of the Bible. In one of them, Paul gives a group of Christians in a place called Ephesus some advice about living well. I was reading it and thought it might be nice to share it with you today. He began with these words: "Act like people with good sense and not like fools. These are evil times, so make every minute count." I read those words and I found myself thinking, sometimes not a lot has changed over the last 2,000 years. Some of what I see going on in this world could be described as evil times. I don't want to really go into what is and isn't evil. I guess for me, the point of these words isn't to focus on that, but instead to focus on what we can do about it with those final words: make every minute count. And the opening words: act like people with good sense. What are the things that I can do to make this world just a little bit better? I might not be able to affect the whole world, but maybe I can make my little corner of it just a little bit better for someone else. Showing good and not evil in who I am and what I say and what I do. It probably won't surprise you to hear that as Paul is writing to a church, he encourages them to pray to God as one of the things that they should be doing. For me and Christians all around the world, those words are still valid and great advice. The idea is quite simple. If God knows the best thing for me, then the best thing that I can do is pray to him and ask his advice so that I do those best things. So I suppose I really wanted to ask you today, where do you get your advice from? How do you decide what to do? Do you have trusted friends who you ask? Are you in a relationship and ask your partner? Or do you have kids and let what's best for them direct you? Do you know what? I actually do all of those. But I also will see what the Bible says and see if that's helpful. And I pray and see what God seems to be saying to me. For me, since I believe that God is the creator of everything, the one who designed it all, it's kind of like going back to the manufacturer and the instructions and seeing what they say. I'm afraid I can't tell you I always follow the right advice. Sometimes I get things wrong and I try and do things differently. And sometimes that can mean that things don't work out as I would have hoped for. But God never turns his back, and I can always go back to that right advice. So where is it you go to for advice? If there was something you wish you could ask about, maybe why things are like they are, what is it that you would ask God? Why not try asking him? See what happens. God bless you. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time.